after his call-up and has been terrific in his one postseason opportunity. Little different line. Honored to be among the few people watching this one in person. And it's 2 balls and a strike.
Hired the right guy. Trust me, Dusty's had a great year.
Well, they are down 0-1 to the Braves. And a swing and a miss. Ian Anderson starts his second.
But you know when you're hitting and that pitch is up in your eye.
And had a 1-for-5 opener, 2 for 2.
Playing the Australian Winter League.
It wasn't beneath him.
No.
Anderson pitching with 1 gone to start the ball game. And he rings up birdie strike.
Anything but my fastball. You know, you're saving your bull.
Yeah, 12 of his plate appearances.
At it too.
Into right field, an opposite field base hit for Jesus Aguilar.
The whole field not rely on the home run like the
hits of the postseason. Team leading 11 home runs during the regular season, and it's 1-1 to Brian Anderson.
In the postseason, and with the playing without the off days now, it's a lot more like the regular season.
A changeup that misses inside, but it's fouled away.
Strike, and Marlins have the guy.
Right now, they're ahead in this inning.
All 3.
And a full count now.
And most people, you're trying to.
Anderson normally goes 5 or 6 innings, and with an inning.
Full count. And he loses him on ball 4.
That's why he gets great spin on it.
First pitch to Garrett Cooper is sent out to right field, and he's coming to bat. Let's take a look at Brian Snitker's Braves Geico starting lineup for game 2. 12 days between actual game assignments. 0-2 to Ronald Acuna, and Lopez makes quick.
You're going to make your next step as an organization when you start figuring out the pitching part of it. And that's what the Marlins have done.
A couple of sharp hops for Cooper to Lopez. Technically different between home and road. Here we are technically.
Baseball and framing pitches, and next year he's 20.
And a strike. Marlins defending on the ground for Anderson. Double clutches a couple times. First to strand a couple of early regular season starts before making that first postseason assignment.
Inning.
Off to a good start as he strikes out.
He's doing real well. Let's let him fail first.
Wide seam, which is cross seam, narrow seam, sinker. So changeups from Anderson. Look,
because I would always talk to hitters. What does he present?
Opponents are hitting 94 cents. This changeup this year. Ground ball for Swanson at short for the game today. That he wanted a true outfielder given the rally app.
You know, Jim, I used to come out of the more conventional, you know, balls out of play, but.
And a wave and a miss by Sierra for early telecast on MLB Network presented by Geico. Today. Just the 3rd catcher in Major League. 2 balls and a strike to d'Arnaud. 2 good ones and 1 real clunker. Jammed, a bouncer for Anderson.
Mom was a clinical pathologist.
Today with 12 days of rest on a big league mound, not as foreign for Lopez as they may be for some others on the staff. It's a sports uniform that you might order. 2-2 to Albies is bounced out to first for Cooper.
Yeah, and that's what you try to do when you get young players in the big leagues. You try to get their infielders know it. They know who goes hard down the line and who doesn't.
From being, he always ran hard every ground ball he hit.
And the infield
that rule and
skills as it is to get better.
Ball well hit. Dickerson looking up, and
Pedro Martinez made a great point yesterday on the post-game show.
Dansby Swanson goes
knees and the thighs. I mean, that's like hitting a drive.
I love how they changed the terminology and the phrasing, and you called it.
Well, just you want the ball come out of the same arm slot.
Yeah.
Up on the scoreboard this afternoon. Payoff pitch home to Duvall. Did he check it? Yes, he did. That one's got a chance. Joyce back at the wall, and he offensive option. And a swing and a miss. That's 5 first shall receive.
But you know, that just tells you a major league club might need.
Birdie on a couple of hops for Austin Riley.
Trying to start putting together certain type of players they wanted. Players I ever had. Just a consummate pro, but doesn't take himself too. Makes think and understands the weight off a good pitcher.
Have good pitching.
That's off the fist and into the eye.
No, when Nick came out of college, there was a lot of talk with the Orioles whether he was going to pitch or play.
I saw that swing right there. I mean, just to explain what Buck is saying when you look at those two swings.
Waits next. Here's the 0-2 to Riley. And Lopez strikes him out on 3 pitches. Job, whether they believe it or not, of trying to stem the rhetoric.
And to Acuna yet. Change up, a little too.
But it's going to happen. His first move is into the plate.
Yeah.
And it's just, what are you going to.
Like Acuna has been. What a privilege. And Lopez strikes him out again.
But registered a little. See the side spin on that ball. Nothing like late movement.
Every year it was just a mentality that's what we did.
Freddie this year, a .423 and a leadoff double to 1-2. Freeman hits it on the ground. It's smothered by Birdie to his feet. Infield defense by the Marlins. Innings, he'll get Aguilar, Anderson, and Cooper in the.
I tell you what, you know, with young pitchers, you're always, they give
credit. You know, they think.
I used to tell them they ain't that smart.
12 of them, 8 for strikes in the infield. Freeman on the mound.
Spot low and outside. You can see a combination of the high heat.
Freeman come in and take control of that.
And that's an extra 1-out base runner in scoring position in the top, if not one of the best. Breaking ball hitter lined him out with the curveball that first at bat, and it's 2 balls and a strike now to Garrett Cooper.
Watered down Buddy, so when the ball hits there, it just.
Runner in scoring position in this game against Anderson, and it's now full count. 3-2 to shallow center field in medium center.
Yeah.
The runner goes halfway, so just.
I'll tell you what, you can find some really good players with those fence jumpers.
Out now, base runner at second, and Swanson, Riley, and now Duvall. Still 1-0 Atlanta. Albies the only run on a Dansby Swanson 2 outs. 0-1 to the former Marlin Marcelo Zuna for the Braves.
Yeah, sometimes a subtraction is a good addition and it may allow you to do other things. These guys on 1-year contracts have a real sense of urgency.
Playing in a postseason series for the 7th time.
Because it's such a devastating pitch at this level.
Well, I would say if I had a pitching person, but
ball doesn't have a chance to stick around. Another. Lopez to get touched up with homers. That's his. Hey.
Ouch.
Second solo shot of the game for Atlanta. 2-0 Braves. Considerations, kind of a throw from there. The Travis d'Arnaud, Donnie telling us before the game, they used to call league average this year.
Hey.
Come on back.
Off the protective gear, didn't wear it, but yeah, that time, and there's more pitches. I mean, we were basic fastball curve.
Sierra was a strikeout victim.
It could do that because your delivery allowed you to do that.
For Freeman to step.
3-2 changeup to Miguel Rojas. Hard to believe that's not a pitch he had. Pick overall on first year in the minor leagues. They gave him that changeup.
Off Thursday in the wild card series in September. So lead May season. He had 2-3 home. One against the Marlins, and that one kicks off Anderson.
Important to an infielder, and he really didn't have his feet set there. You see it catches the heel, and you know hitters just aren't accustomed to doing that. But
ball and 2 strikes to Nick Markakis. And now look, a lot of the fans of criticism of our game, and no longer
go play a place that you don't ever play off this guy. Just find a spot
at second to start the 3rd. And he strikes out with a runner at first.
Now he's going to pitch him. This is where baseball gets fascinating.
At bats. Previously held by Hall.
Boy, he's made some good pitches.
Yeah.
2 outs, and that was the 5th highest average in baseball, I believe. Ready if Freddie Freeman hits this inning. That won't be needed.
Wow. Have you already mapped out some thoughts?
Doing too well.
2-2 pitch hit into the shift. And the Braves Thursday's postseason television schedule.
He had a foot on the dirt and he wasn't too far.
That one finds a hole. A base hit for Birdie with 1.
Did you see the way he went around? Every player.
It was a double.
Yeah.
And do that. You're trying to find a
stare down. That's an OK Corral stare down. as Aguilar swings and misses.
But you would
Math. Pitchers 1-4 the plate. Catcher's average time is.
who's that's quicker, Matt?
I think I saw Garrett Hampson of the Rock. O'Day was the first in for Fried yesterday, and Aguilar's hanging around.
Because I never attempted to catch it.
Did well.
Season. But he goes down swinging here.
So much to stay in the game when my men were on base. Cross seam change up, and then right at the end, bottom falls out of it. Tough to lay off. It was some effort again by Anderson. He's got a chance to win his.
And a guy that Buck Showalter is very familiar with.
This is a tough call here. You know,
That pitch, like he thought it might have been a strike. This
He's in 11 attempts. There he goes. Got a huge jump, and it comes in and hits Anderson.
the plate, obviously.
you know, and
Joyce, which is what Brian Snitker's trying to avoid.
Well, we're getting closer and closer to seeing that.
he just keeps trusting himself down in the zone.
Appeared in just 2 games with the Orioles before being
What you need is late movement.
11 2/3. And Jake Arrieta. It's grounded to the.
I know, talking to Donnie, pitch hitters around too. Ball, and let's go in.
A very at all 3 he faced yesterday.
Wow.
He struck out all 4.
In ball 4 that he didn't like. This is a continuation.
Feet behind. Watch the front knee. See, it does tickle the front knee of Rojas.
We picked 10th, I can tell you that. Those guys.
6 a.m. on a backfield. 2 gone now for Chad Wallach.
Because I've never really seen it, Jim.
Bends the ball into the opposite corner. That could be trouble. Markakis for 7 in the series had a fine differ that has reminded Ron Washington of whom we spoke earlier in the clubhouse and in the dugout. It's replicated here with.
But it happens in a game. It's like second nature.
What a great opportunity to see how we're crew that I saw in his heyday that had as good a wipeout slider as anybody.
Understand why.
You know, every bullpen guy, and sometimes in the postseason the chain gets so long.
And a comebacker for Smith.
Hit.
2-2.
Every time a guy throws inside, they're not trying to hit you.
He was going to go across the diamond and play a position he'd never played earlier this year. Curves a little looper out to shallow center field. It carries to Brinson.